You have been lied to your entire life. From the moment you were born, you were placed into a system designed to strip you of your natural instincts. Your parents, your teachers, and your society told you that being quiet was good. They told you that obedience was a virtue. They told you that if you were nice, harmless, and compliant, the world would treat you with fairness. They were wrong. Look at yourself in the mirror. What do you see? Do you see a man who commands respect? Do you see a force of nature? Or do you see someone who is constantly apologizing for his own existence? Someone who waits for permission to speak? Someone who is terrified of conflict? You are not weak by nature. You have been domesticated. Think of a lion born in a circus. Its claws are filed down, its teeth are removed. It is fed just enough to survive, but never enough to feel its true power. It jumps through hoops of fire not because it wants to, but because it has been trained to fear the whip. That lion believes the cage is its home. It believes the trainer is its friend. You are that lion. The people who raised you did not want you to be strong. They wanted you to be safe. But in the real world, the world of Machiavelli, the world of power dynamics, there is no safety in weakness. Being harmless does not make you virtuous. It makes you a victim in waiting. It makes you prey. The brutal truth is that this world is not a nursery. It is a forest. And in a forest, there are only two categories of existence: the hunter and the prey, the player and the pawn. If you constantly feel exhausted, ignored, and disrespected, it is because you are moving through the world with the mindset of a prey animal. You are broadcasting signals that tell every predator around you that you are safe to exploit. Today, we are going to dismantle that programming. We are not here to teach you how to be a better person. We are here to perform surgery on your psyche. We are going to identify the 7 specific implants that were placed in your mind to keep you docile, and we are going to rip them out, one by one. This will not be comfortable. The truth never is. But if you want to stop being the sheep and start becoming the wolf, you must listen to every word that follows. Sign number 1, the apology reflex. Observe your own language for 24 hours. How many times do you say the word sorry? You apologize when someone else bumps into you. You apologize before asking a question. You apologize for taking up space in a room. This is not politeness. This is a submission signal. In the animal kingdom, when a weaker animal exposes its throat to a predator, it is begging for mercy. When you constantly apologize for things that are not your fault, you are exposing your psychological throat. You are telling the world that you believe you are a burden. You are telling everyone around you that your default state is in the wrong. A predator smells this instant insecurity. They know that if they pressure you, you will fold. If they attack you, you will blame yourself. Stop apologizing for your existence. If you are late, do not say sorry for being late. Say thank you for waiting. If you disagree, do not say sorry. But I think. Simply state your disagreement. Silence is always more powerful than a nervous apology. Sign number 2, the fair world fallacy. This is the most dangerous lie ever planted in your head. You were raised to believe that if you follow the rules, keep your head down, and work hard, you will be rewarded. You believe in a cosmic scale where your niceness is currency. Wake up. Look at reality. The most successful people are often the most ruthless. The people you envy are not waiting for permission. They are taking what they want. The comment section of life is filled with 50-year-old men crying that they did everything right and still finished last. They finished last because they were playing a game that does not exist. Machiavelli taught that a man who tries to be good in all regards will come to ruin among so many who are not good. The world does not reward merit. It rewards leverage. It rewards power. It rewards those who understand the game, not those who blindly follow the rules. If you are waiting for justice to be served to you on a silver platter because you were a good boy, you will die hungry. Burn the expectation of fairness. Replace it with the pursuit of leverage. Sign number 3, toxic empathy. You have been trained to understand everyone except yourself. When someone hurts you, your first instinct is not to defend yourself, but to understand them. You tell yourself they are having a bad day. You rationalize their disrespect. You invent backstories to justify their cruelty. This is not kindness. This is a survival mechanism you developed as a child. You learned that if you could understand the monster, you could survive the monster. But you are not a child anymore. When you empathize with a predator, you are inviting them to feast. A wolf does not care if the sheep understands its hunger. It eats the sheep anyway. Stop trying to humanize people who dehumanize you. Stop wasting your emotional energy trying to figure out why they did it. It does not matter why. It only matters that they did it. Replace your empathy with strategic indifference. Observe their behavior cold and detached. When you stop feeling for your enemy, you can finally start defeating them. Sign number 4, the permission trap. You spend your life waiting for a green light that never comes. In school, you were trained to raise your hand to speak. You were trained to ask to use the bathroom. You were trained that authority is something outside of you, something you must petition. Now, as an adult, you are still raising your hand. You wait for your boss to notice your hard work. You wait for a woman to choose you. You wait for life to give you an opportunity. Here is the dark reality. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to tap you on the shoulder and grant you power. Authority is not given. It is assumed. The people who run the world never asked for permission. They simply walked into the room and sat at the head of the table. Stop waiting for validation. If you want something, take the initiative. If you see a void, fill it. The moment you stop asking, "May I?" and start saying, "I will," the dynamic shifts. Sign number 5, the fear of offending. You would rather set yourself on fire than make someone else uncomfortable. You agree with opinions you despise just to fit in. You laugh at jokes that insult you just to keep the peace. You are a people pleaser. But people-pleasing is just a polite term for cowardice. You are lying. You are presenting a false version of yourself because you are terrified of rejection. You fear that if you show your teeth, you will be unloved. Machiavelli knew that it is safer to be feared than loved. Why? Because love is fickle, but fear is consistent. When you are terrified of offending others, you become invisible. You become a doormat. A doormat is useful, but it is never respected. Learn to sit in the discomfort of others. Say no without explaining yourself. Let there be an awkward silence. Let them be angry. Their anger is not your responsibility. If you cannot tolerate being disliked, you will never be free. Sign number 6, information vomit. Prey animals are noisy. They chatter to signal safety to the herd. You do the same. When you meet someone new, you spill your entire life story. You reveal your weaknesses, your traumas, and your plans within the first hour. You think this builds connection. It does not. It hands your enemies the ammunition to destroy you. Information is power. When you talk too much, you dilute your power. You become predictable. You become boring. And worst of all, you become easy to manipulate. A master manipulator will sit back, stay silent, and let you reveal exactly where your armor is weak. Then, they will strike. Learn the law of concealment. Speak less than necessary. Keep your cards hidden. Make people work to understand you. The less they know about you, the more they will project their own fantasies and fears onto you. Mystery creates attraction. Silence creates authority. Sign number 7, the nice defense. You believe that if you are harmless, people will not harm you. You think your lack of aggression is a virtue. You are proud that you would never hurt a fly. That is not a virtue. That is incompetence. A rabbit is harmless because it cannot kill. A lion is dangerous because it can kill, but chooses not to. There is no morality in being weak. If you are incapable of violence, if you are incapable of ruthlessness, your niceness is just submission. You must integrate your shadow. You must recognize that you have the capacity for darkness, for aggression, and for destruction. Only when you possess the capacity for danger can you truly be respected. A sword kept in its sheath is peaceful. A man with no sword is just a victim. So how do you kill the prey and birth the hunter? How do you rewire decades of conditioning? You do not need years of therapy. You need a protocol of action. Here are 3 immediate changes to your operating system. First, stop explaining yourself. This is the fastest way to reclaim power. When you explain your decisions, when you justify your actions, when you offer excuses, you are subconsciously asking for validation. You are granting the other person the authority to judge you. Stop it. If you say no, mean no. Do not follow it with a because. A king does not explain his decrees to his subjects. A hunter does not explain his movements to the prey. Your actions are valid simply because you chose them. The moment you stop explaining is the moment you become an adult in the eyes of others. Second, practice the art of disappearing. We live in an age of hyper-availability. You have been trained to reply instantly. If you are always available, if you are always predictable, you have no value. Pull back. Do not answer when you withdraw, when you become scarce. People begin to wonder about you. They begin to respect you. In the absence of information, their imagination builds your power. Third, become unpredictable. The essence of prey is predictability. A rabbit always runs back to its hole. You have been predictable your whole life. You are the nice guy. Everyone knows you will say yes. Everyone knows you will not fight back. Shatter that image. The next time someone disrespects you, do not laugh it off. Look them in the eye and hold the silence until they squirm. The next time you are expected to apologize, do not. Stand firm. Shock them. Fear comes from the unknown. When they can no longer predict your reaction, they must treat you with caution. This is not a game. This is a metamorphosis. You have a choice to make right now, and it is a choice that will define the rest of your life. You can click off this video. You can go back to being the nice guy. You can go back to apologizing, back to waiting, back to hoping that one day the world will finally be fair to you. You can live the rest of your life as a sheep, safe, warm, and eventually eaten. Or you can wake up. You can realize that the cage door was never locked. You can step out into the forest. It is cold. It is dangerous. But it is free. Kill the boy who was raised to be prey, so the man who was born to hunt can finally breathe. The world does not need another harmless victim. It needs monsters who have learned to control their claws. Welcome to the food chain. If you are ready to leave the herd, if you are ready to walk alone, then you know what to do. Subscribe and never apologize for it.